We are now soon.
And there we go again. There we go again. Me and my buddy Sandeep. This I'm going to say 1, 2, and 3. Hi guys, thank you.
We're already live.
Correct. Okay. Sandeep has to say that. Sandeep has to say that lest I make any mistakes. So we are already live. And what does live mean? I think we're going to have a live wire session today. But before that, hi guys, for those of you who are new, like we said in earlier episodes, this is our value additions where me and Sandeep are looking at providing professional tips, which is usable immediately after this show. So in 30 minutes, you will have tips which you can use and more to unfold as the show goes on, which you will know. Some of you have been here before would know the format. And those of you who are new, welcome to our show. Hi from our Value Additions, from me, Suresh Menon, CEO of Value Additions. We are a unique sales augmentation company. And Sandeep, oh, by the way, Sandeep, he said not to introduce himself, not to introduce him the other way or this way or this way or that way. I will just say, here is the guy who impacts digital business process online. That's the only thing you would give me permission to say. Nothing else I want to say. I'm not going to say he's a Rotarian Sandeep and CS Sandeep and all that. Jokes apart, digital business process online. Here is the guy, Sandeep Ohri. And with that, Sandeep, over to you. Let's try take on. Go to you.
Are we done? Okay. Okay. So yes. Yeah. Thank you very much, Suresh. You always keep saying all these nice things about me, and I keep wondering why, but it always feels good. So yes, welcome everyone, and thank you for tuning in. And I know you have a whole lot of options as far as webinars are concerned. So that's why we decided to keep this one, short, crisp, 30 minutes. That's it. And we value your time, and therefore, what we want to do is make sure that we give you, very specific tips for professionals, businessmen, entrepreneurs. Even if you're not, but you're aspiring to be one, we can give you these tips. This is something you can do as soon as you finish watching the show. Okay, so our endeavor is at least that, to make sure that we give you something and you learn something in this that you can do as soon as, it's not a very long learning process or a learning curve. And therefore we try to bring you stuff that you can use immediately. So that's been our endeavor. And by the way, guys, if you're falling short of our endeavor, please feel free to comment. Okay, and make sure that if you're going to write something not so nice, you also write 2 things which are very nice. Okay, so be nice. We take our time off and we do this for everyone. So so we would appreciate and really like a few nice comments from all of you guys for what we're doing. So Suresh, please tell us about our guest today, Vipul Thakker. Yep. And then Absolutely. I'll get him online. But let's say a few things about him.
I almost forgot about what I was going to do.
Let's say a few nice things about him before he comes on.
Correct. So I forgot about the show when Sandeep said so very nicely, write good things about us. I got carried away in that flow, but he brought me back to reality. So if at all in the SME space, I always thought an observer cannot be somebody who does things, and somebody who does things, the action cannot be an observer. But if at all, we have seen somebody who's an observer and an action man who understands the pulse of MSMEs in India across the length and breadth and the top and the bottom of India. Here he is. Pleasure to introduce our buddy and the partner at New Hari Bhakti Business Services LLP, Mr. Vipul Thakker. I got that right. Here he is.
Vipul you got that right.
Pleasure to have you on board.
Correct. Hi, Suresh. Hi, Sandeep.
Yep. So Vipul Bhai is always somebody who gives undivided attention. And it's my pleasure to capture him in this frame now and get him that undivided attention from him to talk on an important topic of stimulus. I had a lot of things about stimulus, what stimulus means and what have you. But before that, I need to say that Vipul Thakker is somebody who has made sure in a very silent manner, in a subtle manner, in an impactful manner, like I said, has added value to MSMEs across in various sessions. So many MSMEs today who owe their survival, who their growth is to this gentleman who does it without any ado, without any sound and noise or lightning. And I don't want to steal his thunder. Sandeep, over to you, and then we go on straight to the show.
Yeah, okay. So, like I said, Vipul, and you know about the format of our show. Primarily, we try to keep it short, crisp, to the point, and we know you're that kind of a guy, otherwise we would have invited you. So yes, so thank you for coming on the show. I understand, and a lot of MSMEs out there, and of course we're also part of the same biradari, so there are a lot of brethren. See, a lot of the lockdown has, I wouldn't say COVID, but I say the lockdown has really affected all the MSMEs a lot. There have been various stimulus, financial and economical packages which have been announced by the government. There is still a lot of confusion out there in terms of, is this really for me? I mean, does my MSME really qualify for it? Or, am I to be counted an MSME in between the definition of MSME also changed. So there are lots of questions out there. Lots of answers also out there, but the thing is, sifting through the answers to get the right ones, I think that's a big challenge. So I think, so that's something that thankful for you to be here, and I'll hand over the floor to you. And please, please understand, we will butt in with questions, and we will interrupt you because that's the format of the show. So, but we will try not to interrupt you too much. So please go ahead, Vipul. The floor is yours.
Okay, thanks, Sandeep. Thanks, Suresh, for the nice introduction. And hi to all your online viewers. See, typically, if you look at the stimulus or the grant, the way things are happening in the current scenario, there are first, foremost, we need to understand the difference between the grant and the stimulus. When we talk about the grant, the number of countries, and even in India, most of the people are expecting that some funds should be credited to our account directly and not through the grants or otherwise. But try to understand why government is doing certain action which is required to do a particular way and certain action not required for the want of creating imbalances within the system. So first, let's understand what the difference between grant and the stimulus. When we talk about grants, like, for some of the portion of Europe, is given some freebies, like US has announced that about up to $10,000 can be credited to individual person's account, and so in Australia and Germany and some portion of Europe, they said, okay, fine, we'll give you certain funds as a credit to your account without having any impact of whether you earned or you don't earn that money. Whereas in case of stimulus, government actually does not give you anything in your account. And they give all the sort of freebies and create a system around you to make it ensure that the money what you're looking at, that you get it in a legitimate way. So that's a fundamental difference between the grant and the stimulus. Inadvertently, most of the places, even in Europe and all, where the grants is given, people have used that as a right and they've enjoyed that money. So again, after 15 days, 20 days, 1 month, you will fall in the same place. You don't have money to spend. So what you'll do, the government can't give funds every now and then to take care of your financial need, right? So then that is what the alternative way, and that what India has also selected is absolutely right way to select a stimulus for giving free support to your economic requirement, then giving you directly money into your account. So that is the measure which stimulus as a part of the measure what government introduced and give to create a demand and the supply so that the money automatically reaches to your account. Now, typically when we say amount is credited to your account, it's indirectly. It's ultimately you have to put your efforts. It's not that nothing is going to come free in whatsoever manner you can think of, but you have to put your efforts to get it recovered or make an effort to make it receivable at your end. So while all efforts has been created by stimulus to give boost to the economy, and as you are as a part of that economy, you will also get a boost. If you look at, there may be 100 big corporates, but each corporate is having more than 1,000 OEMs or suppliers, and those OEMs and the suppliers has maybe 10,000 of all micro and small medium enterprises who supports it. The whole supply chain is linked that way. And by virtue of that, if any corporate or the economy development happens at the industry level, automatically MSME has get lifted. Now to get a further boost,
yes. One question at this stage, Vipul. It's good you clarified this difference between grant and stimulus. There is another word which is, another two words which are being thrown about by everyone. One word is waiver and the second word is moratorium. So a lot of people are also looking for, waivers and some people are saying, well, you are getting a moratorium. So the government is using all these multiple phrases, So
Correct.
the average person doing business is not an expert, in economic jargon. So
Correct.
what is the grant? What is the stimulus you've explained? What is a moratorium and what is a waiver? And where is the difference between all this, or are these just jargons to confuse everyone and nobody's getting anything?
Correct. So this is the grant and stimulus. Same way, waivers and moratorium is the same jargon used in a different scenario. That is synonyms. I can put it as the synonyms to the main wording which is used. So when we talk about waiver, that means people are expecting not to make any payment to the bank or financial institution wherever they have taken. So virtually they are saving all that money. Whereas in case of moratorium, you are deferring your payment. Right. So whatever money you have today, you need to conserve it for your family protection, your economic protection, and your financial need requirement and all. So which you're doing it, and you're deferring your liability, which is required to be paying today, to maybe 3 months, 6 months down the line. Depends on the type of activity. Right. So that's a similar to like grants and stimulus. The waiver and moratorium is more or less the synonyms the way is written. Again, like grant, people want waiver in terms of interest payment and all, whereas government is not in a position. If we talk about 1 lakh crore as a disbursement amount to MSMEs, and maybe 10% is the average rate, so 10 lakh crore is what the interest waiver. And if you talk about 1 month, so most of the bank will be bankrupt in that case. So virtually you cannot allow those things to happen. What government can do as a deferment of that. Yeah, so
and also Vipul Bhai,
yes,
right. And also Vipul Bhai, just to add to what you said, and on this slide, it's a very interesting case. Stimulus, by definition here and by the English language, is to kickstart something which is struggling, like you said, like you explained so well. But it's very interesting now that the stimulus is also going to create new entities. If I won't use the word reboot, I'll use the word new boot. Like there are new entities which will come out, and a very interesting way a stimulus is going to happen for the first time, I think, in the history of mankind. That stimulus is not to revive or to not only to revive to struggling companies, but also to probably make sure new companies get born. That's a very interesting thing which is happening as observed. Yeah.
True.
Okay.
So if you look at, look at the government, what government wants to do. So government basically wants to introduce this economic booster to help micro, small, and mid corp to come out of the current issues and look for the long-term prospect in terms of what further they can do. It's ultimately, it depends on an entrepreneur of an MSME, how we react to the stimulus or the economic booster which is available, and react to the situation and change his systems process to build to that level. And that is where it is gone. So if you look at, the all scheme, what government has introduced in 4 phases, what the finance minister has introduced on day in 1, 2, 3, 4 days, as 4 different phases of the stimulus, for totaling to about.
It means a new company has to be a new business.
Not required, Suresh.
Right.
Your current business itself is sufficient to take care of all the requirements what the new freebies or new scheme has been introduced. So if you look at the impact, what government is looking at. What government is looking at, this whole scheme is distributed into 3 phases. Like, the goal what the government want to try to achieve is a short-term goal, long-term goal, and a mid-term goal. So when we talk about the short-term goal, how exactly today, see what is happening by virtue of last 2 months, from March and last week of March till date. Most of the business was closed, right? So there's no generation of business which has happened, no income generated for any MSME or virtually for any corporate. So government has deferred. Again, it's used as a word deferment. This is a waiver. This is government payment of PF for 3 months. Government is making the payment as far as your labors are concerned. So if you have 90% of your staff, labor or your staff earning less than 15,000 rupees, then PF for 3 months, and again extended for another 3 months, that is being paid directly by the government. What does it mean? That means on an average, if you look at 12% is the PF rate. So employee provident fund and the employer provident fund comes out to about 24%. So if your cost is 10 crores, so 10 crores, 24% of that directly goes through government. So you get 2.4 crore direct subsidy is a part of your working. So that is,
Correct.
it's itself is a big sum of money. As a 2.4 crore directly credited, you don't have to offload out of your own pocket, but it goes out of the government pocket. Plus,
this is all for the salaried people who are covered.
Absolutely, salaried people, as well as it gives certain cushion to an entrepreneur, so he doesn't have to shell out more money out of the process, and that money he can use for sustaining his own business or expanding his business. If you look at, further what they've done is they've given. So suppose if on a particular date of 29th, say last day of February 2020, if you're using your working capital limit is as a 5 crore. So from 5 crore, 20% is automatically enhanced. So from 5 crore, in place of 5 crore, you can use up to 6 crore with the same collateral value, same facilitation, same documentation. You don't have to provide any further additional documentation to the bank. And that additional 1 crore is available to you to, again, to sustain your business, to ensure that the workers have been paid, all compliance, or all the process requirement payment what need to do to sustain your business. It is available. So that gives you another freebies in terms of managing and maintaining your this thing. So again, if you look at on that side, this is what the need available. On the bank side, it's a risk that if the payment is not collected, then what happens? The government has given the special guarantee scheme to the bank that all additional working capital what has been provided, that is get protected. So bank is also in a safe hands. So so there's no creating imbalances between both sides. Whereas in case, if you look at the midterm correction what government has done, they changed in the definition, which was expected since very long time, to make a modification to cover larger canvas of more number of MSMEs and taking maximum benefit out of this process. So when you're changing the definition, the first thing, and I'm requesting all your viewers, if they have not done that, they should do it on immediate basis or ASAP basis, that take the maximum advantage of this change in definition and get enrolled. Your company or your enterprise or your limited partnership firm or proprietary concern to register as an MSME and get your Udyog Aadhaar number. It gives a two-way benefit. When you are registered as an MSME, you get a lot of privilege as far as the business is concerned from your entrepreneurs, from the customers whom you are supplying. Two, even in case of your collection doesn't receive in time, so by virtue of statutes, you are supposed to recover your money back in 45 working days, unless there is a agreement between the payout period, between your invoice date to collection date. So that gives you a protection as an MSME, which is otherwise not available in any other statutes.
Right.
Moreover, it goes as a relationship, but this gives you as a right to get your money within 45 days. In addition to that, there are a lot many schemes that government has introduced. Like even if you look at, there is very supportive action or very, not as a rigid legal framework which works for MSME, but it works as a more cohesive, friendly type, facilitating nature of resolution matrix which works for MSME. So that is an additional advantage you get even from the banks or lending institution. Moreover, government has this year introduced as a part of the scheme that up to 200 crores of any government contract has to be qualified by an Indian entrepreneurs only. So no foreign bidder can bid for MSME contract. So MSME has the full rights to claim up to 200 crore of tender which is by the government. Now, what does it mean? So today, there are a large number of foreign players who participate into government bids, take those bids and execute the project. Now, by virtue of this, tender is restricted only to Indian MSMEs. It means that one, if MSME is capable of doing it, they have more opportunity or more probability to get those contracts. Two, MSMEs who are doing good, but they may lack some technical capabilities or financial capability, they can collaborate with those foreign players who are anyway interested in setting up operation in India, so they can work as a joint venture.
Correct.
So Indian entrepreneur has a larger say in terms of driving the business and improving his own cash flow and the bottom line. Three, in case like in some of the cases, they are good in quality, good in technical skills, but lack on the financial skill. So again, the financial foreign player can come and work as a part of the joint venture, and you drive the business, and then they support as a financial assistance. So in that case also, you get a lot of advantage that your business automatically grows up. So this is what government is trying to do by virtue of making India concept and supporting MSME through this particular schemes. So
Right.
that gives a lot of comfort and the confidence should, I mean, as an entrepreneur, if you're confident, then I think this is the right opportunity for you to take on.
I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that, if you're confident, because what has happened over the last, 3 months that we've been through this lockdown, the confidence level has shaken. So a lot of businesses, because they have been, adversely impacted, and some of them have actually been shut. Some of them are still shut, like gyms, for instance, and salons, for instance, the malls, for instance, they're still shut. Theaters. So they're still suffering, while the rest of the country is probably trying to limp its way back to some kind of, I wouldn't even say normalcy, but they're trying to get back into whatever shape they were a little before. There are some businesses that are still there's actually no horizon which they can see. So a lot of business confidence is gone, in terms of what it is that they can do. So the question that comes up is, how confident are you? Should you actually go in for some of this? In which case, how does one decide? Can you throw some light on, I mean, can you help in some way, in helping people to decide whether, I should go for A, B, C, or I should just not do anything, or, or what is it that we can do? And, this is where, Suresh comes in here, and makes everyone, give a gift. So Suresh, we're going to get people to do something.
Before that, but what struck me now when Vipul bhai were talking is that we used to say when the Arden lockdown happens and we get back to our workplace, one is to obviously have the sanitizing done, make sure it's done, things, the care, the
okay, Suresh,
distancing,
I am not able to
and all that.
I don't know, maybe it's a connectivity issue, but I just couldn't hear the last sentence.
But what is
I don't know,
it?
Vipul, you heard it.
Apparent now.
You can answer. I never heard
Okay,
it.
so
I think what Suresh is trying to say that, I mean,
so I just want to say one thing. I'm just saying that in the drawing board, the financial stimulus of what is to be taken, how the financial stimulus should be used, in what business, each of them have to be planned before the actual work commences.
Yeah. So Suresh, as I understand your question correctly, I mean, so post opening of, so lockdown is now closing, and then we are moving into unlocking the lockdown 1.0 now. My all suggestion to all your viewers will be, look at your business model first. Look at your cost, expenses, the way you are spending money or the way you are doing your business. Try to use digitization as to the extent possible to make your processes more automated and make it more quicker and accurate to the customer whom we are delivering, and take the maximum advantage of the scheme which is available to you, which is, I don't think so it is available in the past so many years, and this is the best opportunity for individual SMEs or MSMEs as an entrepreneur to look at encashing those opportunity one by one. And my confidence is I'm 100% plus confidence in terms of for the benefit of MSMEs. This is huge potential available. But only thing is nobody is going to come to you to tell you what you should do. You have to decide and you have to define what you want to do, and you have to take the benefit out of it.
Fantastic, it's a very good point. Absolutely.
So that is what I can say. If you expect somebody will come to your doorstep and give you money and then say now you do business and all, so nobody's going. You have to be Atmanirbhar. You have to be Atmanirbhar.
Here is your check.
Absolutely. So that's why you have to be ready for yourself. I mean, if you decide that this is what I want to do it, then there are 100 avenues available today to get the maximum benefit. And as an MSME, I mean, the amount of benefit which is available in India, I don't think so anywhere else it will be available at the same level. There could be probability people may not be aware in terms of what schemes are available, what benefit is available, how that benefit need to be encashed and all. So those are the things that can be looked at, that can be explained, that could be advised. Those things are possible to do it.
Yes,
But I think there's a huge-
easier said than done. That can be looked at, that can be explained. We figured out the difference between grant and stimulus and moratorium and waiver, and you are saying it so easily that that can be figured out. You're going to help us figure this out also.
No, I can say that easily because I spent 30 years in this profession.
Suresh,
So I can say that.
So that's the right time, Sandeep, to get the wonderful personality Vipul Bhai to offer the gift to our entrepreneurship community,
Yes.
the MSME community. So is there a gift waiting for us, Vipul Bhai?
Yeah, sure. Why
Yeah,
not? I mean,
there you go.
if we
There you go.
can.
That's what he's going to do for us.
So I can do
So
that.
let me say this. This gift is to those entrepreneurs who write to us at ourvalueadditions@gmail.com, which is down there in the ticker email ID. Yes. And when you write to us, that's when we will further connect you with Mr. Vipul Thakker so that this gift can be availed of. Over to you, Vipul Bhai.
No, absolutely. I'm open to that. See, there's a huge opportunity available. And we always believe that whatever knowledge I have gathered is for dissemination. There's no point in dissolving and then keeping that knowledge base only with me. So
That's
whatever I can.
That's why we do this show. Yeah. That's why we do this show.
Very much appreciate. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
so
so
here's the benefit you can take. You can take.
Yeah. Thanks, Vipul. So for those of you who are watching, what it means is if you're confused about what type of package you should go for, whether some things are applicable for you, whether they will be beneficial for you or not, what you need to do is there is an email ID on screen right now. Please send us an email and tell us that you would like to avail of a 60-minute guidance, and Vipul will be very happy to schedule that for you. So he will guide you. He's not going to do it for you, okay? As he's very smart. Okay, he already clarified it. Nobody is going to come to you and get it done for you. So you will have to take the first step.
Absolutely.
So yes, please send us an email. Okay, you send us an email. We will pass that on to Vipul, and Vipul will then get in touch with you, schedule it for you, and then you can get a 60-minute guidance on what you need to do in terms of your solution. And even if you have some documentation, maybe he'll probably be able to even assist you. Maybe 30-minute discussion and maybe half an hour of going over the document or whatever. So I think that's really great value, Vipul. Thank you very much for doing that for all of us. Like you said, we need to know, we need to figure out, but it's not easy.
Not easy.
Entrepreneurs are good at the work that they do, but this government scheme and application, it's not easy.
With the accompanying stress and with the accompanying focus on this.
Sorry, Suresh, you're saying something. You were saying something before the internet killed you. So.
Yes. No, I said with the accompanying stress, of the business, the accompanying stress of the worry which is there, to keep this in mind becomes extremely difficult. Because
So
to watch the window, the rear view mirror, and it's a great thing, Vipul Bhai, for having this gift being given. But I also understand this, that in this stimulus, when the guy.
Wow, I can't hear anything that Suresh just said. Okay? I've got some weird computer noises coming in. I don't know about you guys, but that's what's happening.
One can also get. You got that, Sandeep?
No, I didn't. Absolutely not. None of us. We just got some, I don't know, you some voice synthesizer computer. I don't know what special effects you were trying, but it's not working. Maybe the special effects worked, and but we never heard anything that you said.
Okay, so let me try out. So that speaks about the difficulty in entrepreneurship faces to get the stimulus done. This is just a demonstration of that. So I'm just saying that one more important aspect is if you do the stimulus well, if you do this getting the infusion properly, then one can also plan out when entrepreneurs can come out of their problems face by face. Am I correct? It also gives a light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely.
Very important to focus.
I read this phrase about light at the end of the tunnel, and there was a cynic who turned around and said, "The light at the end of the tunnel. I hope it's not an oncoming train."
Correct.
That's the light at the end of the tunnel. People who are cynical and who are pessimistic, they will see the wrong thing in the right things also. So
absolutely.
So Vipul, thank you very much for coming and guiding us for this, and also offering to give a lot of your time and share a lot of your knowledge and experience with MSMEs who are wanting to figure out what is most applicable to them. So
Sure.
thank you very much for your gift. The gift of time is and gift of effort is probably most appreciated by everyone else. So
And absolutely.
so I leave it up to Suresh to wrap it up.
Yeah, thanks a ton, Vipul bhai, for sharing that knowledge. Like you said, now knowledge shared is knowledge doubled. So really appreciate that from the bottom of our hearts. Even if one entrepreneur benefits out of this, our job would have been done. Our value additions would have achieved its purpose. Change always happens in a small manner, step by step. Thank you, Vipul bhai, for being a very good friend and buddy and guiding us. I'm sure we are two entrepreneurs who will seek your guidance for sure. Thank you so much. We're at this on the dot at 30 minutes, and thank you so much for our value additions. One more episode, and we thank you everybody for joining us, being there, giving us the likes. And as this is on the Facebook page, continue to like it, to share it. Like Sandeep said, we don't have a budget to market, so please share it.
Okay, thanks guys.
Thank you, Vipul bhai. Thank you very much.
I'm going to click on end broadcast. So if you're going to say something, it's going to be halfway through. Okay, so just relax.
Bye. Thanks. Yeah.
Bye. Thanks.